Unit 3, Lesson number 2, The Importance of Clean Water. Objectives: discuss the importance of clean water, review the parts of the gastrointestinal tract, cite some common gastrointestinal tract diseases, their causes and their symptoms, cite some ways of conserving water. Water is a very important resource to humans. It has many uses: bathing, washing, cleaning, cooking, and many other things. The most important use of water is for drinking. However, not all water is potable or safe for drinking. In fact, not all water are even safe for human use or for animals to live in. This is because of water pollution. Large bodies of water like oceans and seas are home to millions of creatures and plants. However, marine life is also threatened by the destructions due to pollution. Industrial waste and garbages are often thrown or spilled into the oceans and seas, making the water highly toxic with chemicals and harmful organisms. Because of this, marine ecology is damaged or even destroyed. At home, pests may thrive in improper kept water. Stagnant water becomes a breeding ground of insects such as mosquitoes, which can bring diseases. Because of these conditions, you must be aware of the diseases that can threaten your body when you drink or use contaminated water or eat animals and plants that grew in a polluted water. First, here is a review the system of the body that is responsible for breaking down the food and water that you take. Your digestive or gastrointestinal tract. Here are the major parts of your GI tract. First is mouth. The mouth is where the food enters the body and masticated or chewed by the teeth and tongue. The enzymes in the saliva initially breaks down the starch in the food in preparation for digestion. Second, the esophagus. Esophagus is the tube connecting the mouth and stomach. It pushes the food down to the stomach using muscular movements called peristalsis. The third one is the stomach. Stomach is the temporary storage of food. The digestive juices in the stomach breaks down protein from the food, and then after some time, the food is broken down into a pulpy fluid, and the stomach pushes it out to another organ. Fourth, the small intestine. Small intestine is where the food goes from the stomach. Starch, protein, carbohydrates are further digested and absorbed through the walls of the intestine to the bloodstream. Last is the large intestine. Large intestine is the organ where the food goes after the nutrients are absorbed by the body. Here, water and remaining nutrients are absorbed while the remaining mass is prepared for excretion through the rectum. Water sustains the body by keeping it hydrated. However, when it becomes contaminated by pollutants or bacteria, it can damage the digestive tract and cause several diseases. Because of this, nourishment of the entire body can be disrupted. Below is a list of symptoms or a common gastrointestinal diseases. Chest and abdominal pain, dyspepsia, lump in the throat, dehydration, jaundice, nausea and vomiting, diarrhea, bloated feeling, bleeding. Now let's talk about different gastrointestinal diseases and disorders. First is diarrhea. This is a condition characterized by frequent bowel movement and loss of liquid. Diarrhea can cause by certain bacteria and parasites that invades the GI tract. In extreme cases, it can lead to dehydration and malabsorption of nutrients in the intestine. The second one is amoebiasis. This is a parasitic infection caused by microorganisms called amoeba. These parasites invades the intestinal lining and cause bleeding and diarrhea. Third is gastroenteritis. This is the inflammation of the stomach and intestines, leading to pain, vomiting, and diarrhea. It can be caused by bacteria or viruses from contaminated water. One form of gastroenteritis is dysentery, wherein blood is also discharged from the intestines. Fourth is cholera. This is an infection of the small intestine by bacteria that contaminate the drinking water. It can cause diarrhea, cramps, rapid dehydration, and vomiting. Because water is very important to humans and can also be at a high risk of being contaminated by harmful chemicals and organisms, ensuring that the water you use every day is clean is very essential. Whether for drinking or for other uses, the water you have should be free from pollutants and contamination. Here are some ways to help in conserving water and preserving its cleanliness to prevent gastrointestinal diseases and disorders. Avoid having stagnant water in your home because stagnant water becomes a breeding ground for mosquitoes, which are potential disease carriers. Number two, check whether your water resource or sources are dump sites for industrial using chemicals and other dangerous substances. Report to the authorities if you ever witness dumping of industrial waste in bodies of water. The third is throw garbage properly. Throwing garbage anywhere can lead to flooding and pollution of the waterways and nearby bodies of water. Fourth, filter and boil your water before drinking to ensure that it is free from microorganisms and other pollutants. And last, conserve water by turning it off when it is not in use. You can also reuse water from washing and rinsing for cleaning your surroundings.